Section 14 of the training. In this section, we will discuss when to ignore a signal. All signals are created equal. Some are good, some are great, and some are really fantastic. But some are terrible, and recognizing the difference is very important. Learning to know when to take a trade and when to leave it alone is critical to your success. In baseball, for example, it's just as important for the batter to know when not to swing at a pitch as it is to know when to go for it. The same holds true for trading. So let's look at this chart and see if we can identify what signals should be avoided. We've identified a buy signal with the blue arrow confirming at 12:51 on our chart timeline. See the double bottom in price and the higher low on both indicators that confirm this signal? Now notice the tremendous downtrend of the market, identified by the large blue arrow. Price has been falling for at least 2.5 hours that we can see on this chart. At the bottom of this tremendous downtrend lies our lonely buy signal, and it has virtually no chance of success going against such a downtrend. Look carefully at the chart and see if you can also identify the buy signal that occurred at about 11:15. And there's another buy signal that occurred at about 12:03. These were also buy signals that were against the downtrend, and they too failed miserably. It's rare that a signal going against a trend, especially a choppy signal, is successful. We've inserted a small chart to the right that shows another buy signal. The blue arrow shows our entry confirmation candle. In order for a signal to be healthy and takeable, it should have sufficient volatility or up and down movement of price. To be takeable, the trading range of the signal should exceed about 2 points. If it doesn't, we call that condition choppy. In black, we have indicated the trading range of the signal, and you can see that it ranged from a low of 893.50 to a high of 895. And since that's only 1.5 points, this signal fails our test for volatility. And we do not take this trade. And because the first signal that we looked at was against the trend, we don't take it either. Before taking any trade, you must always ask these two very important questions. First, is the signal against the trend? And second, is the signal choppy? We will discuss trends and choppy in great detail in future lessons, but it's important at this point that you understand their importance in determining whether or not you take a signal. Here are some factors to consider before taking a trade. Consider each of these points carefully before entering the market. In fact, you must consider it your job, even your duty, to try to logically talk yourself out of taking the trade. Now that may sound strange, but you must always attempt to find something wrong with any trade signal that you are considering. And if you can't find anything wrong, then you probably have an excellent trade to take. So ask yourself the following of every trade. Is the signal structure correct? What has the market been doing for the past hour or two? Has the market done anything that would be considered unusual or possibly out of character from what it had been doing? And is there any legitimate logical reason to not take the trade? Practice being very particular about signal structure, market volatility, and market conditions before taking any trade signal. This concludes Section 14 of our training. If any part of this section was not totally clear, then we suggest that you review this section again. If any questions still remain, then please write them down and we'll go over those questions in the online portion of your training. And if you've thoroughly understood this section, then you can proceed to section 15.